So I decided to start putting these videos together. I was talking with some people and mentioned I was going to put these videos together. And yeah, I mean, there were people that said or that mentioned to me that it might be helpful to them as well, or maybe to newer traders. I've been trading a handful of years. I've been seriously doing it probably for the past 2, and then very seriously doing it for the past 1. So there are a lot of ways to prepare for the morning if you're going to day trade. I do a little swing trading, but I typically do more day trading than I do anything. It's a bit more exciting. I decided to put these videos together for me, and there were other people that mentioned that it might be helpful for them. So I decided to do that. So with that being said, let me know in the comments. Let me know if this is helpful for you. Let me know if it's not helpful for you, if it's something that if I get wrong or get right or whatever the case may be. And like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. So outside of that, I'll get right to it. So to prepare in the mornings, typically, something that I really like to do to get started is I'll go out to a 4-hour chart. I'll start with 4-hour, kind of start looking around here. So if I go in and I clear out all of this stuff, let's just close it all out here. Sorry for that. I probably should have cleaned this up before I started, but I'm going to do it now. So anyway, here we go. So I usually start on a 4-hour chart, and I'll do the simple basic things. I'll draw out some trend lines. That is not a trend line. So I will draw out some trend lines, for the bigger picture, kind of see where we are, overall big picture trend, maybe kind of draw one here, see what's happening down here, where the support is here. We could get a bit crazy and start drawing them from, COVID times if we really wanted to, kind of draw a trend line from here to here just to kind of see where we are from that. But, you get the idea just at from a big picture standpoint, where are we? What are we looking at? 4-hour picture. We're talking bigger moves here. So I just get an idea and an understanding. And then what I'll start to do is zoom in a bit. Sometimes I might even draw some Fibonacci. So I'm a big fan of Fibonacci. I'm not going to explain it. I'm not going to teach about it. There are plenty of other people that do that. What I'm going to do is just kind of talk through the process of getting prepared in the mornings, because some of the things that I look at. So I'll look at retracements here, and then maybe I'll draw some more, here just to kind of see where we're retracing here, to the downside, and then I just change the colors. I mean, I'm pretty sloppy when it comes to being prepared, because I try to do this every day so it refreshes my mind. And so, and I'll typically draw more, but I'm going to try to not over clutter my screen here. So, the market tends to moves in M's and W's, at a high level. There's way more to it than that. But as we zoom into the 1 hour, I start getting, stretching this out a bit, trying to get closer to where we are now. Now I can actually draw some more, trend lines here, trend line here, see what we've got here. And then I can even zoom in further here for this, looks like there's maybe a bit smaller of a play possibly trying to set up here. So, yeah, and so how this will typically work for me, I get these drawn, maybe I'll zoom into the 15-minute, right? Expand out a little bit, look at similar things. Then maybe I'll start drawing some additional Fibonacci just to look for what happens. But one thing I spot is, it looks like maybe there's a bit of a W setting up here, all right? So that's one of the first things I might look at. So what do I need to see for this thing to start pushing? Well, so this is typically where I would kind of halt. I might move down to the 10-minute or the 5-minute and kind of see. But from a bigger picture, the 15-minute, 10-minute is probably maybe where I would stop, unless I see something that I might want to zoom further into, check out the volume, see what's going on a 5-minute. But for bigger plays, I say bigger plays, but for day trading, I usually look at, the 5-minute, 10-minute to get an idea of what I think is going to happen. I want to use the term bias, but, I don't want to use that term either. So then what I will tend to do is I have multiple screens. And so I'm not going to show all of them, but the two main ones that I use are the one you were looking at and then this one here. So this is a 1 minute, this is a 5 minute, this is a 15 minute, this is a 1 hour. And on most of these, I have other things on the 1 minute because the 1 minute is closer to something I might use to enter a trade, but we'll get to that in a bit. So then I'll look at I really like divergence plays. I like to see divergence. And I'm not going to teach the tools necessarily, but on a MACD, divergence really is the lessening of momentum, but the trend keeps going in the same direction. So what you will see is a downtrend here, but you'll see an uptrend in the momentum, which means the momentum that's being required to continue to push it down is less and less, but you're still getting lower lows, which to me, that really says to me that there's a bit of manipulation happening. So if you notice what started to happen here as we got to here, well, what happened? Boom, we pushed, right? We started to get momentum in the other direction. We started to push because there's only so long you can manipulate that. Now, this doesn't always work out the same way. And then you look, well, why did it push so much? If this is only on a 5 minute, I mean, you really shouldn't have had such a hard move, right? Well, then we move over to the 15. Well, on the 15-minute chart, we had something very similar, right? We had divergence on the 15-minute chart. Well, so now we got a bigger pop because we had the same thing on the 15-minute chart, right? And, now we've gotten low here, and we've pretty much gotten almost exactly the same amount, but not quite more to get a lower low, right? So it looks like we're having a hard time moving a bit further down, and maybe it's just accumulation. Who knows? That's the fun of the stock market. So then let's look at the hour. Well, if we look at the hour here, even today, which is September 6th, you look at this, we've still not broken that uptrend here in the momentum, yet today we barely got some more lower lows. Well, that tells me with this in mind, well, there is a decent chance that this could happen. So what I would start doing from here is really start paying attention to, volume and momentum and all of that fun stuff in my day trading, with the understanding that there's a pretty solid potential that could push because of the divergence that still exists on the 1 hour. We've already got those pops on the 5 minute and the 15 minute, but that 1 hour, it still doesn't seem like it wants to give. Maybe it will continue down, maybe it won't, but it's a fairly good sign. So what I would do from there in my day trades, I mean, that's most of the preparation that I would do. And then from there, what I would do is I would hop over. So I tend to enter trades on a 15-second chart. So, my day trading from there, so I've got that other screen up above that you were just looking at, and then right below it is I have this. So I will stare at this, and I will zoom into these, and, I know it looks a bit crazy, and that's mainly because there's an Ikimochu cloud in here that, and usually these charts are really, really cluttered. I mean, I will draw tons and tons and tons of retracements, and I will do that because, retracements are I love them. I like Fibonacci and trading. And so that prepares me for the day. I'll draw these, these Fibonacci. So I will get ready for the day the rest of the way by looking at what happened yesterday and just drawing very simple trend lines from, last night, pre-market, just to kind of see, okay, if we break these, we're probably going to keep going down. And then, draw some trend lines across the top here just to kind of see, because you'll get these little pops now and then. If you start breaking these little trend lines, which kind of help push you through these, these trend lines that are a bit further away, you just have to keep an eye on volume and make sure that everything is there. So, that's the way that I prepare in the mornings. There is a lot more to it, of course. I mean, and as I continue to make these videos, I will try to give additional details of the things that I do. I'll try to actually record the morning of, or maybe I'll do it after, we'll see. But yeah, I mean, that's the idea here, is to kind of put these together to see if maybe they would be helpful for other people. And if not, I'll just keep making them for myself. I just won't publish them. I'll just put them up there so that way I've got them. So yeah, I mean, the idea is to go through these preps in the morning, kind of what I saw. Now, I probably won't push them out in the mornings. This is for I don't want to, I don't want people looking at what I'm looking at and expect to trade from it, right? If you don't have a similar, trading setup that I have, or maybe it won't be as helpful. And maybe one day I'll go through more of that. But the idea now is to go through what I do pre-market before I get started, and then post-market. Because in post-market, it's very important that you go through post-market, no matter if you had a good or bad day. I'm not saying do it every day. I don't do it every day anymore. I used to. But you want to go through post-market. And so I use TradingView. TradingView will actually allow you to replay the day, and you can replay the day on multiple time frames. You can figure out, just kind of note where you had a bad trade, note where you had a good trade, kind of go through all of those things, and then go back and replay the day, and then look at the volume, look at what happened, and try to figure out, why you made a bad trade, or even if you had a great trade, like what did you do? What was so good about it? How can you find that same setup again? So that is how you get great at this. This is how you get really good at this. And I would encourage anybody just starting to paper trade. That's just, that's not advice. I don't give financial advice, and I want to make it very clear that this is not financial advice. It's for entertainment purposes and all of that jazz. So if you like this, like, subscribe, comment, tell me what you think. And if you don't, tell me what you don't like about it, what you would rather see. I won't do any live trading stuff, especially right now. I'm not saying I never will, but that's going to be for a while out. So yeah, let me know what you think. Like, subscribe, all of that fun stuff. And I'm looking forward to making these, even if they're just for me. It's been fun getting all of this stuff set up, to be able to start putting all of this together. So yeah, I look forward to the next one. I'm out. See ya.